Hello.
Hi, ma'am. I've made you the host. You can start.
Yes, Natasha. Thank you so much. Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the session. Okay. Give me 2 minutes. I'll just check with regards to the people on YouTube, okay? So on YouTube, I see Nitesh Sanal. Okay. So I'll just share the meeting link, meeting ID and password for the people on YouTube so that they can join on Zoom. Give me a second. So on YouTube. Okay, for people on YouTube, I have posted the link. The Zoom link. I'll share the meeting ID and password also. Okay, just a second. Huh? Okay, so if you have logged into your Zoom account, then meeting ID is 898 0239 5381. I'll just share the meeting link, meeting ID and password for the people on YouTube so that they can join on. So give me a second. Password 935974. Okay. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the session. So, how was your weekend? How was your weekend? So, should I? Okay, I'll. Okay. Okay, so today the topic what we will be discussing is parajumbles. So please keep a pen and a scribbling pad ready. Okay. So the topic for today what we are handling is parajumbles. So hope you all have your pen and scribbling pad. So this is English class. Sonali ma'ams, I don't have an idea. Probably it will be tomorrow. Practice questions, I'm really sorry, I'll send it, guys. I had my exams, master's Viva exams. So throughout the week, it was really hectic. So 3 papers we had to complete, my project, master's and internship. So it was, I was a little bit occupied. So I will ensure I will send all the materials. Okay. Yeah. So parajumbles, we will quickly deal with the topic. Any idea what is parajumbles? Have you ever dealt with it earlier? Okay.
No, ma'am.
Okay, you can unmute and speak, right? You guys can unmute and speak, right? Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you all can unmute and speak, right? You can't. Okay. So I have to unmute you all. Okay.
We can, ma'am.
That's what I'm asking. So, okay, fine. Thank you. Okay, the topic for today is parajumbles, and it is a topic where you can score the marks easily. Okay, so any idea what is parajumbles? Anytime have you dealt with it?
No, ma'am.
Okay, no. Okay, so to understand the topic parajumbles, what do you mean by just a vague understanding? What do you mean by jumble? We say not jumble up the word. What do you mean by that jumble?
Jumbo could be mixing something like, yeah.
Yes, it's a too much of a combination. Okay, so jumble
Together.
yes, together. So
Something.
jumble words means the words will be up and down. It will be in different sentences. You have to connect that and make a meaningful sentence. The sentence or the words are jumbled means it's haywire. It's not in the sequence actually. It's not in a proper shape. Okay, so the starting sentence may be in the last, or the middle sentence may be in the first, or the starting paragraph will be at the end. So there will be no proper structuring of the sentences or the word. We have to arrange it in a way it gives a meaningful paragraph. So para jumbles means in the paragraph the sentences are jumbled. Jumbled means the sentence will go haywire. It will not be in order. So in exams, yeah.
I think it's a rearranging sentence.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Correct. It's rearranging. So it will not be in order. For example, options A, B, C, D. It will be B, C, A, D, D, B, A, B. It's like that. So it will not be in order. So it is our understanding of the paragraph and identifying the sequence of the sentences, timing of the sentences, background of the sentence, context of the sentence. Based on that, we will arrange it in a proper, meaningful sequence. So parajumbles are where the paragraph has been jumbled. Paragraph has been jumbled. So in the exams also they will give the sentence is jumbled. So there are certain strategies, certain understanding of the tips and techniques. so that we can understand that and we can arrange the sentence in a proper manner so that we get a meaningful sentence. Okay, so parajumble is all about where the sentences are given in a actually it will not be in order or a proper structure. In order to get a meaningful sentence, we have to arrange or rearrange it in proper structure, proper flow, so that we get the right meaning of it. Okay, so just a second. Okay, I'll share the screen now. So we'll keep it simple so that you can understand easily. Okay, so we understood the meaning of parajumbles. Okay, before we go to the meaning. Okay, so just to give an example of this, can one of you read this?
Shall I?
Yeah, please. What's your name?
Sandali.
Okay, oh, Sandali. Okay, please read it, Sandali.
Example. He was looking forward to opening up the presents in the solitude of his room. Sanjay's birthday was celebrated with a big bash, but the guests insisted he open them up right there. Several people arrived at his home bearing gifts, both big and small.
Okay, so this is just a quick example of setting the parajumbles meaning, making the concept understand. So can one of you, any one of you, give me the right sequence of this example?
Hello, ma'am. This is
Yes.
Tamara.
Yes, ma. Go ahead.
Okay. So Sanjay's birthday was celebrated with a big bash.
Okay.
Several people arrived at his home bearing gifts, both big and small.
Okay.
He was looking forward to opening up the presents in the solitude of his room, but the guests insisted he open them up right there.
Thank
So 2, 4, 1, 3.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So the sequence is, so Sanjay's birthday was celebrated with a big bash. Then several people arrived to his home bearing gifts, big and small. He wanted to open up in the solitude of his room. That means he wanted to open up and see all the gifts in his room. Okay. But the guests insisted that he has to open them open the boxes right in front of them.
Ma'am,
So, yeah.
and the right sequence is given below.
Yeah, it's given below. Just for a clue, I've given. Okay. So, how were you able to give the sequence?
Sorry, ma'am.
No, my question is, who answered this question now? The sequence? Who gave the sequence?
Tamara.
Tama, yeah. So, on what understanding you gave the sequence?
Okay, I was just trying to make sense of the story. So you can't, Sanjay can't look forward to opening, let's say, the presents before the gifts are given to him. So 4 should obviously come before 1. So I was looking at the sense.
Correct. Then and even the guest cannot insist Sanjay to open the gift without giving the gift box to him, and he cannot receive gift without celebrating his birthday, and he cannot invite several people without any event. So the first sentence will be Sanjay's birthday, then people will be invited, many people will come with gift and bouquets, and the guest then he would like to open the gift in his solitude of his room, but the guest insisted to open in front. So the sequence, see, this is, you were able to understand the context, and you were able to understand the a story, the entire paragraph in the form of a story, then it was easy for you to rearrange it. So sometimes what happens, it will not be that easy in the exams. Okay, so for that we have to follow certain tips and tricks. So let's,
Ma'am,
yeah,
how many sentences there?
usually 5 to 6 sentences will be given.
Okay.
4, 5, 6 sentences will be given. Max 4 A, B, C, D or 5 E, A, B, C, D or E. So 4 to 5 sentences will be given. So now we'll understand what is parajumble. So as I told you, the sentence is split into 4 to 5 parts. The sentence is split into 4 to 5 parts. Each part is denoted by a letter. Each part is denoted by a letter. So how you saw here, see, letter or number. 1, 2, 3, 4 or A, B, C, D. Usually it will be A, B, C, D, E. So it will be denoted by a number. The 4 choices are given where each choice gives a particular order of the 4 parts. So choices will be given, options will be given, and it will give a particular order. When you read, you will get the hint of the order of the paragraph. So you get the understanding of the order of the paragraph. The order of these 4 parts that form a proper sentence is the correct answer choice. So 4 options will be given. It will give a hint to you. It will give a hint to you where you will have a particular order, because one cannot come before the other. The other cannot come before the another one sentence. So it will give a sequence, or it will give a choice, or it will give a hint where the sentence has to be in a particular order. And when that sentence is been arranged in a particular order, that is called as a proper sentence. Proper sentences where the subject, predicate, noun, pronoun, adjectives or conjunctions, anything is there, parts of speech is there, it's all been arranged in a proper manner as per the grammar, so that it gives a meaningful paragraph. So parajumble is, it's a sentence split into 4 or 5 or 4 or 5 parts. Each option is denoted by a letter and 4 choices will be given, and these choices will give a hint to a particular way to identify the sequence and build a proper sentence. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
when you arrange the sentences in sequence, it will form a proper sentence, and whichever option is giving that combination. For example, 4 options will be given and combinations will be given. A, B, C, D, B, D, C, A, C, A, B, D. The 4 options will be given. In that 4 option, whichever the option gives a proper sentence, that will be your correct answer. Okay, so let's see people on YouTube. Okay, people on YouTube.
Ma'am,
Yeah,
ma'am, it's look like rearrange.
what is that?
Rearrange, ma'am.
It's look like a rearrange.
No, I didn't get your point.
Rearrange.
It looks like,
Rearrange, ma'am.
no, some disturbance actually. Can you
Yeah, he means that it looks like rearranging the sentences. That part in grammar we used to do in high school. So he means that, I guess.
yes. If anything is there, please you can put it on chat, any doubt, so we can sort it out. Okay, so on YouTube it's going good. Let me check with them. understand. Okay. On YouTube, I see Nitesh, Sanal, Binay, Anindya, Rohit Jaiswal, Gautam Kushavaha, John Fararja, Deborah Asaf, Gwebella. Okay. Welcome to the session, guys. Hope you are able to understand until now. Okay. Just a second now.
Can you
Guys,
stop
please
breathing, please?
mute yourself. When you want to talk, then unmute yourself.
So we understood that parajumbles are jumbled paragraphs. So you are given a paragraph of sentences and it will not be in order. So you have to understand, and understand. You are expected to understand and rearrange the sentences in a logical order. When Sama adds, who is this?
Mohammed Fuad, can you please
One
mute
second,
yourself, please?
Unmute yourself.
Please unmute yourself. So here the candidates are expected to understand the logical order of the sentence and rearrange it. Okay. So now we will understand certain tips and tricks for parajumble. We'll understand certain tips and tricks for parajumble. So please keep a small book and a pen ready. Okay. 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 Okay, now we will discuss the strategies. Okay, the strategies for parajumble. How to form a meaningful paragraph. So we will understand certain strategies like tips and techniques. Okay, it's simple. Then we will practice few sentences. Okay, yeah. So the first strategy is, please make a note. You will look at the options. You will look at the options. So we will go to the first sentence. Okay, we'll go to the first example. We will look at the options. So what do you mean by this? What do you mean by this? We will look at the options.
At first, we should read the given sentence.
Correct. You will first read the given sentence. Okay. Then you will read all the sentences. Okay. Then here, I'm sorry, here numbers has been given. Don't get confused. Let's remove the numbers. Okay. Make it A, B, C, D. Okay. So I will write it now.
No problem, man.
Yeah. Okay. Now, instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, make it A, B, C, D. So it will come in this order. Okay. You're able to see? I don't know. You're able to see the book. It will come in the order A, B, C, D. Okay. A, B, C, D sentence they have given. Now, what is the combination? 2, 4, 1, 3. So we will. So how we have to go for the example is, now first is Sanjay birthday was celebrated with a big bang. So it will be 2. 2 is B. Several people arrived at his home bearing gift big and small. That is D. BD. He was looking forward to opening the present in the solitude of his room. That is C. C. And the last is, but the guest insisted he opened them up right in front of them. That is 3 is.
One is A.
No, not 1 is A. Sanjay birthday is A. First one, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
So Sanjay birthday is A. Several guests arrived is B. He was looking forward to open the gifts in his room is C. But the guest
Yeah.
insisted to open them right in front of them. Is D. So this A, B, C, D will be jumbled. So what combinations you can get? It will be B, A, D, C, or C, D, A, B, or B, A, C, D. Okay. So like this, we will see in the examples also. So ignore this number, we will see in the examples. So here I have written the combination. If you can see, A, B, C, D, B, A, D, C, or C, D, A, B, or B, A, C, D. So you will get the combinations. You will get the combinations. So first one is you have to look for options. You have to look for options. Wait, now we will go to the actual example. See, now you will understand. Okay. So this is how the sentences will be given, and this is how the options will be given. B, A, C, D, A, D, C, B, A, D, B, C, B, D, A, C. Okay. Now our first strategy is you will look at the option. You will look at the option. So now in the option, how they have given, you are able to see this slide? The Caribbean crisis, which had the potential of starting.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
You are in the right slide. Okay. A, B, C, D option is given. A, B, C, D sentences are given, and down you have options. So now you see option 1, option 2, option 3, option 4. BACD, ADCB, ADBC, BDAC. So now the first strategy is you have to look for the options. So now we have BACD, ADCB, BDAC, ADBC. So 4 options are there. You're able to see all the 4 options? You are able to see all the 4 options?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
In these 4 options, you see the first option, first sequence is B. It starts with B. Second starts with A. Third starts with A. 4 starts with B. What do you understand by this? Any guess? Any guess? First option starts with B. Second option starts with A. Third option starts with A. Fourth option starts with B. Any guess?
Answer will be 4, I guess.
Answer will be 4.
Let's see that for final answer we will see later, but now we are trying to understand the tips and techniques. Okay, so
Answer will be 1 or 4.
let's
And
see.
2 and 3 not will be the answer.
Okay, now first strategy is you have to identify the option. See, you cannot say, I guess it will be BDAC or I guess it will be ADBC. So guessing may sometimes go wrong. Okay. So there are certain tips and techniques which we have to apply. So the first one is you will look at the options. So I'm seeing all the options now. Since all the options are starting from either B, A, B, the first trick is your answer, your sequence will be between A, B. Your first trick, okay? Your sequence will be between A, B.
Yes.
Your sequence will be between A and B. So what we're trying to do here, you look at the options. That means try to identify the opening sentence. Try to identify the opening sentence. In the first step, what we're trying to do, we're trying to identify the opening sentence. Now, how to identify the opening sentence? Options are given. All the 4 options starts with either B or A or A or B. So, it's very clear for me that the opening sentence will start either from A and B or B and A. So we have nailed down that part, A and B. My opening sentence, my first sequence will be A and B. With A and B, then we will decide. Okay. So we have, so this first step is understood.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So sequence will be given like this. Now, I have read the options. It starts with either A or B. So my starting sequence should be between A and B. Okay, so that one is fixed. Now we will see what is the sequence. So in the first step, we are trying to identify our opening sentence. Okay, A and B. Now we have A and B. So A says, the Caribbean crisis, which had the potential of starting the Third World War, was successfully averted. Averted means stopped. It was successfully cleared. So there was not, though it was a potential, that though the Caribbean crisis were potential of starting the Third World War, it was dismissed, averted, stopped. The mission was cancelled. So Third World War didn't start. It was successfully averted. Okay, so that is A. Then B is the UNO has succeeded in preventing the war and maintaining the peace in all the cases. Okay, so now can I talk about B first?
Yes, ma'am.
Can
Yes,
I take
ma'am.
my opening sentence as B?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many of you say yes?
I say yes too.
So you want to start the sentence with first sentence with B.
Yes, ma'am.
How many of you say the sentence has to start from A?
Ma'am, A is the first sentence.
How do you say that?
A is the first sentence.
On what basis you're trying to say? We have identified A and B. Our opening sentence will be between A and B only. That's we have understood with the first strategy, because we're trying to identify the opening sentence. And since options had B, A, B, we finalized, okay, A and B. The sentence should either start from A or B. Okay. Now, how do you, some people are saying it will start from B. Some people are saying it will start from A. So what is the basis to say it starts from B, or what is the basis to say it starts from A?
Okay, I'll pick B, my first sentence to start with B. I'm picking B because we are looking at this body or an organization that prevented the war, which is the UNO. So if they did prevent the war, and maintained peace in most cases. It makes sense that that's the first sentence because D also like connects with B, I think.
Okay. Any other
Mm,
explanation?
hello, hello.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. According to me, we have to start with B because the Caribbeans couldn't have stopped the war on their own. They needed an organization to stop them. And in this case, it is the UNO. The UNO has succeed in preventing war and maintaining peace in most cases. This is the reason why the Caribbean stopped this war. If it wasn't for this organization, they couldn't have stopped the war.
Okay. So in that
Yes.
way, you have given the explanation. Now the trick, the second step where we are coming here is, so we finalize the first step, that is identify the options. So when by identifying the options, we are trying to find out the opening sentence. What will be the sequence of the opening sentence? Since all the options had starting of B or A or A or B, in the first place, for the first alphabet is B, A, B in all the four options. I understood that the opening sequence should be between A and B. So now coming to A and B, which is the first one? So how to find out the first one is, which is out of two, which is the first one we have to find out is, now the second tip. The second tip is identify noun and pronoun. Identify the noun and pronoun. Second tip. First is identify the options. Out of four options, what they have. First, you have to look at the options. You will look at the options first tip. Okay. And finalize whether it starts from, if it is like C, D, D, C, if it would have started from C, D, D, C, then our opening sentence starts between C and D. So you have to nail down that first. That is, identify the starting sentence. So we have nailed down here, it is A and B. Out of A and B, now how to find out which is the starting sentence? That is the second step is, you have to identify the noun and the relative pronoun. Please note down the second tip. Noun and the relative pronoun. Noun and the relative pronoun. So what do you mean by noun?
A noun is a name of something.
Team, place, animal, thing.
Yeah.
Short form. Okay.
Name and place.
Yeah. And what is pronoun? Pronoun is, it takes the place of the noun. It takes the place of the noun. Noun is, it talks words which talks about name, place, animal, thing, or a person, something like that. And pronoun is which takes the place of the noun. I have given you the examples. Say John and Robert traveled on a long vacation. Again, you need not say John and Robert visited many amazing places and had a great time. John and Robert attended a conference. So every time you need not add John and Robert, you can say, since they are two people, more than one, you can say they. John and Robert traveled on a long vacation. During the vacation, also they attended a business conference. They attended a business conference. In fact, they had a wonderful time of visiting many stunning places like that. So pronoun is which takes the place of the noun. Now the second tip is, see, now the first tip is we identify the option. Now the second tip is identify the noun and the relative pronoun. Relative pronoun. Now I will tell you which is relative pronoun. So now keeping this trick, how do you identify? I will teach you. Okay. So now if a sentence has a noun and if a sentence has a noun, thus that sentence has to come first. that sentence has to come first. That's what we did in this example. See, this sentence has a noun. Sanjay is a noun, name of a person. Okay. If a sentence has a noun, that is Sanjay. Sanjay, for example, is the name of a person. That's why we took this sentence first. Okay. In the same way, here, if the sentence has a noun, that means UNO. UNO is an organization. Name, place, thing, or you're talking about an organization or a person, they all comes under noun. So here it is the noun. So the UNO has succeeded in preventing war and maintaining peace in most of the cases. So UNO is a noun and it is in a particular place. So it talks about the noun. So UNO. So that sentence has to come first. If in a sentence there is a noun, then that sentence has to come first. There is also one more trick added to that. So you have to identify the noun and the relative pronoun. So we understood pronoun. What is pronoun? It takes the place of the noun. Instead of saying every time noun, noun, you use it they, him, her. So that is pronoun. Okay. So now you have to find a relative pronoun. Now relative pronoun, which are those relative pronoun words? They are, make a note. They are who, which, that, whom, whose. So they are all relative pronouns. Relative pronouns. Relative pronoun means, understand that first. Relative pronoun means it builds a relationship between two sentences or two conditions or two situations. That is relative pronoun. So relative pronoun is those words which builds relationship between two conditions or two situations or two sentences. So now in the sentence A, where is the relative pronoun here?
Which?
Correct. So the Caribbean crisis, which had the potential of starting a third world war, was successfully averted. So first you have to identify the noun. Any sentence which has a noun form, any sentence which has a noun form, name, place, animal, thing, or talking about a person or an organization or a place, they all come under noun form. So the UNO has succeeded in preventing war and maintaining peace in most of the cases. So UNO, that sentence has to come first. And second, identify the relative noun. Relative nouns are, it combines two sentences or two conditions or two situations. So UNO has succeeded in preventing war, and the Caribbean crisis, which had the potential of starting the Third World War, was successfully averted by UNO. So it's combining two sentences. So which is the relative noun? So in a sentence, if you have which, that has to come second. In a sentence, if it has noun, that has to come first.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
So in this case, it is not connecting the sentence.
Which one?
It, like the D one.
We will come there. 1 second. We will come there. Yeah, step by step.
All right. Okay.
So did you understand these two steps?
Yes, ma'am.
So one is, you have to look at the options. So like this 4 sentences will be given. The sentences are jumbled, but you have to understand the sequence, and that's why we are discussing the tips. So keeping the background of the tips, you have to understand the sentences. Then you have to arrange it in a sequence in order to get a meaningful sentence. That is parajumbles. And you will be given options. So the first tip or trick is, you have to look at the options. You have to look at the options. 4 options will be given. In that, you have to identify the first alphabet. That is first alphabet in every option. Is it B, A, B, or C, D, D, C, something like that. So the first format that will become your opening sentence. In the first step, we are trying to find out the opening sentence of the paragraph. So first finalize that, whether it is a CD, DC or CD or that option AB or BA or A. So find out that first. So we will have a clarity. Okay, my opening sentence will be between A and B. Okay, one step is clear. Now we will come to the next step. Next step is between A and B, what should come first? Between A and B, what should come first? So for that, one more step is identify noun and relative noun. So noun and relative noun. Second simple step. So whichever sentence out of the option A and B, whichever sentence has the noun part, name, place, animal, thing, organization. If it is talking about an organization, if it is talking about an animal or anything, okay, place, it's all noun. So whichever sentence has the noun part, that has to come first. And the relative noun, relative pronoun. Relative pronoun is it builds a relationship between two sentences or two situations or two conditions. And what are the relative pronouns? The relative pronouns are who, which, that, whom, whose. So these are some of the relative pronouns. You have to identify that. See in the sentence A, which is there. So the UNO has succeeded in preventing war and maintaining peace in most of the cases. The Caribbean crisis, which had the potential of starting the Third World War, was successfully averted. So this indicates it was successfully averted by UNO. So it is combining 2 to 3 sentences. That is why it is called as relative noun. And there is also one more trick. Try to identify noun and pronoun. Try to identify noun and pronoun. Now the third, try to identify the noun and the pronoun. I already told you, noun is name, place, animal, thing, organization. We are seeing in the examples. Pronoun is it takes the place of the noun. It takes the place of the noun. The book is on the table. It is a story book. The book is on the table. The book is the autobiography of Mahatma Gandhi. The book is the book depicts the autobiography of Mahatma Gandhi in a beautiful way. The book is available on Amazon. Every time, instead of saying the book, since it's a non-living thing, you will say it. Okay, so that is pronoun. It takes the place of the noun. Okay, so now you have to the third trick is you have to identify the noun and the pronoun. Noun and the pronoun. So now you identified B and A. Okay, you identified B and A. Now, what would be the third? As per the trick of third one, that is identify the noun and the pronoun. What would be the third sequence? What would be the third option? BA is already done. We are fixed on that because one is B has a noun and A has a relative noun. Now, what is third sentence should come? I'm telling you, third tip is now you should identify the noun and the pronoun. You should identify the noun and the pronoun. Noun is already there. We have put it already. The UNO is the noun. We have to identify the pronoun. So if you identify the pronoun, which will be the third sentence in the sequence? Come on.
D.
D, correct.
Them.
It is the pronoun. Okay.
Yes.
The UNO has succeeded in preventing war and maintaining peace in most of the cases. The Caribbean crisis, which had the potential of starting the Third World War, was successfully averted. So it's combining the sentence B and A. There's a combination. So which is connecting both the sentences. And since it is used, it is a pronoun. That means it is replacing UNO. Okay. Instead of saying UNO deployed its forces to maintain peace in Korea, they have said it. So what that it is what now? UNO. UNO is noun. So it deployed its forces to maintain peace in Korea and succeed at the mission. So the third sequence is it. The third trick is identify the noun and the pronoun. So we have identified the noun, pronoun is it. So the third sentence, the third sequence should be it deployed its forces to maintain peace in Korea and succeed at the mission. And the last one is C. Last one is C. War was ended between India and Pakistan and peace finally established in this part of the world. Okay, you got the trick? Okay, so here we applied 3 tricks. Here we applied 3 tricks. Now,
Ma'am, there is no option. BADC. Last question.
Yes, I also there was no.
The options are not matching.
okay. So how many of you say the correct match what?
Ma'am,
So now it's a test for you. So now I was waiting if someone or anyone who will at least point out, because there is no option. Very good. Give a big round of applause to yourself. You identified there is no option because there is one more trick. Okay. So now what we did, first step, very good guys. You identified that there is no option. What we finalized on the sequence. Okay. Now, in the first step, what we said, we have to look at the options. Okay, B, A, A, B. Okay, so it was very clear for me. My answer should start. Why do we do this? Why do we look at the option? To identify which is the starting sentence. So my starting sentence should be between BA or AB. That is finalized. A and B. That is finalized. Okay. Now what I said, find out the identify the relative noun, identify the noun and the relative noun. Identify the noun and the relative noun. Okay. So now noun is here UNO. Relative noun is which, because it's connecting 2 sentences. It's connecting 2 sentences. It's connecting 2 sentences. So that we understood. Relative noun we understood. Relative noun is who, which, whose, that, whom. Okay. Now, so relative noun is there, UNO noun is there, relative pronoun is there. So you all said, that is why in the beginning I asked, how many of you say B, how many of you say A? Okay. So now, there is the 4th trick. There is the 4th trick. If my sentence has a relative noun, then that sentence should come first. If my sentence in the sequence, if my sentence has a relative noun. Relative noun. So which is a relative noun here? Which? So which is the relative noun? If my sentence has mute your phone, please. I'm sorry. Mute yourself. Okay. If my sentence, see now you decided A and B, and some of you said B is the first sentence, and some of you said A is the first sentence. But again, confusion. It's a guesswork. What we did till now is a guesswork. Okay. So that is why we are giving you the tips. First one is you have to look for the options. So you find out the options A and B. Second one is you will understand noun and the pronoun. Okay. Whichever sentence has the noun, that first you have to take that sentence. Okay. Noun, I had UNO as noun. So I took that sentence. But there is one more trick, that is identify noun and relative noun. The third trick says identify noun and relative noun. I have identified UNO as noun, but the relative noun is whose, whom, which, that. So if your sentence has the relative noun, then that sentence will become the first sequence. See here, which is there, okay, in the first sentence. So the Caribbean crisis, which had the potential of starting the Third World War, was successfully averted. Then comes the second sentence. The UNO has succeeded in preventing war and maintaining the peace in most of the cases. Now comes the third sentence, that is D, it. Who is that it? It is UNO. UNO deployed, or it deployed its forces to maintain peace in Korea and succeeded the mission. Last is war was ended. Now see the sequence. A, B, D, C.
Ma'am, it's not matching option.
Again confusion?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We will see one more trick. Okay. We will see one more trick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what you said is not connecting. The Caribbean crisis, which had the potential of starting the Third World War successfully averted, which means stopped, right? And then the second option, you said the UN has succeeded in preventing war and maintaining peace in most cases. Then the third option, you said it deployed its forces to maintain peace in Korea and succeed in its mission. Then the last option, you said C, war was ended between India and Pakistan and peace finally established in this part of the world. But the first part and the second part is not connecting. If you start with A, it's not connecting.
I'm giving you the next trick. I'm giving you the next trick. Okay. So now we decided on the first look for the options, that is we finalized between A and B. Okay. So my answer should be the starting sentence should be between A and B. Okay. So now the first trick what I gave you was find out the starting sentence. Next is you have to find out the noun and the pronoun. Noun and the pronoun. So now here, which is the noun now? UNO is the noun. Okay. Now the pronoun is, it replaces the noun, that is IT. Okay. It replaces the noun, that is IT. So BD, then you have to take the sentence which has, you have to take the sentence which has a relative noun. Relative noun. Which sentence has a relative noun? A has a relative noun. So B, D, A has a relative noun. The Caribbean crisis, which had the potential of starting the third, was successfully averted. That is A. So B, D, A, and the last option is C. So our answer is B, D, A, C. The UNO has succeeded in preventing the war and maintaining the peace in most of the cases. It deployed its forces to maintain peace in Korea and succeeded the mission. The Caribbean crisis, which had the potential of starting the Third World War, successfully averted, and the war was ended between India and Pakistan, and peace finally was established in parts of the world. So BDAC is our option. That is the correct answer. So we have spoken about UNO. We have spoken about the noun. Then noun, next is pronoun. Pronoun, noun and pronoun. So then we have taken the relative noun, and finally we have taken the last, that is C. How many of you agree with this? Jennifer has a doubt.
Agree, ma'am.
Yes, Jennifer.
Agree, ma'am, but it's even confusing.
Simple understand the rules. Okay, first you look at the options. Four options are given: B, ACD, ADCB, ADBC, and BDAC. Okay. So now, since the starting alphabet is B, A, B, my answer should be between A and B. Okay. So that step I got right. So I finalized 2 sentences. I finalized 2 sentences. So second step is identify noun and pronoun. Okay. So the first step is identifying the option. The second step is identifying the noun and the pronoun. So now I'm identifying the noun. So UNO is the noun. Caribbean crisis cannot be noun. Okay. It's a situation. That is what I'm saying. Situation, Caribbean crisis and Third World War is 2 situation, which is combining that both situation. That is relative noun. Relative noun are the words which combine 2 situations, 2 conditions, or 2 sentences. Understand? So here Caribbean crisis is 1 situation. Third World War, it would have led to Third World War. That is another situation. So it's combining 2 situations. Okay. So that is a relative noun. So first is I identified the option, it should be between A and B. Now out of A and B, what is my option? Which should come first? I will look for the noun. So noun is UNO. So my starting sentence will start with the noun. Okay. Next, I wanted to take relative noun. But I see a pronoun here in the sentence D. Identify noun and pronoun. No, the second trick. Second trick is identify noun and pronoun. So the second option is it, D, that is D. The UNO has succeeded in preventing the war. It deployed its forces. So UNO and it. So UNO is noun. It has taken the place of the noun. Okay. So second sequence is D. And third is, it's the third identification, the third sequence where you have to take is, if a sentence has which, then that should come the next sequence. Okay. Noun and the relative noun. So relative noun is which here. That is the third sequence. And the last one is C.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
in every case, we can use this trick.
Yes, there are few more. I will let you know.
Okay,
Yes, that is why we are giving this strategy. It will be easy for you. You are able to understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Because you have to read the sentence and identify the grammar parts. That's very, very important to arrange the sequence. Every time it is not possible that you read the sentence, understand the background and arrange, because some grammatical parts will change the sequence. That is why, see, which is a relative noun. That is why I'm giving you step-by-step explanation. Any doubts, please ask me. That is why I'm asking you to guess also. Okay. So first look at the options and decide where your answer will lie. That means look at the options means why we are looking at the option is to identify my opening sentence. How will I start the opening sentence? Okay. So you will get an option between A and B. So you're clear there. Out of 2, you will decide 1. Out of 2 to decide 1, that sentence should have noun. So you will see where is the noun. Okay, that sentence has noun. So that is my first sentence. Second is you have a sentence which is connecting 2 situations. I can take that first. But in the other sentence, they have given a pronoun. The next trick is identify the pronoun. Once you have identified the noun, next is identify the pronoun, because pronoun comes after noun. Understand that. Sita is a good girl. Sita is a beautiful girl. So instead of saying Sita, Sita is a good girl. She is a intelligent girl. So every time pronoun comes after noun. So that is why UNO is here noun. Immediately it has come. So I have to take that. Okay, noun. Pronoun always comes after noun. So that will definitely be my second sentence. Okay. Then comes relative noun. The third step is find out the relative noun. So Sentence which has which, who, that, whose, whom, they're all the relative noun sentence that has to come third in the sequence. And the last option. So this is the 3 tips, based on 3 tips what we have understood. Okay, so that is look for the options, then search for identify your noun and pronoun, then identify your noun and relative noun. Okay,
It's clear, ma'am.
clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. 2 minutes I'll give break. Just try to sink the knowledge. Okay, just try to understand. Okay. Now in this example only we will see one more trick. Okay. So we decided B has to come first, and since it is a pronoun, D has to come second. Then relative noun, since it is connecting 2 sentences, which is there, which, whom, whose, that, all those words, if it is it has to come next to the pronoun sentence. I understood that. Why C has come in the last? So there is one more trick. Why C has come in the last? There is one more trick. Chronology. Please make a note. Chronology. The first step is you will look at the options. So 4 options are given. Finalize on, nail down on 2. So looking at BA, CD, AD, BC, you will nail down at BA or AB. Okay, our answer should be AB. So first one. Second one, try to identify noun and pronoun. So noun is name, place, animal, thing, person, organization, all those things. And pronoun is it takes the place of the noun. See, identify in the sentence which word is taking the place of the noun. Okay, so that second trick is done. That is why it has to come, D has to come second. Then third is relative noun. So relative noun, it is combining the 2 situations, and it is also connecting to the sentence D. It has to come third. And the last, why it has come last is, the next trick is chronology. CHRONOLOGY. Chronology is arranging the sentence or arranging anything in a chronological order. First work first, last work last. In this grammar part, first work first, last work last. First work first, last work last. So that is the trick. So in this sentence, they have mentioned war was ended between India and Pakistan, and peace finally was established in this part of the world. Ended. That is last. Last work last. That is why this sentence has to come last. Chronology. Okay. Chrono means time. Arranging the sentence in the time sequence is one more trick. Since it has come, ended means at the last. Finally, the war got ended. The war was ended. At the end, it will come. Okay. So it is showing the ending time. So that is why it should come at the end, the last sentence. So they will say no. They'll give certain dates, 1947, 1950, after 60 years of independence, something like that. So it talks about the time. Chrono means time. And the formula for that is first work first, last work last. So that is also one trick. Okay, now, understood this chronology? Chronology, any doubt?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
So I have given you 4 tips and tricks now. Keeping at least keeping we have few more. So keeping that in mind, we will proceed to the next example. Can one of you read this for me? I'll take 1 minute break now. Can one of you read this for me?
If we take part in our democracy stable, there should be some checks upon the people in power.
Okay.
We do not have a healthy opposition, and this gap can be covered only by a free press. In India, democracy is still passing through its infertile stage, suffering from a lot of downs. Leaders generally become very ambitious, and so they try to gain power as much as possible.
Okay, can you guess the answers now?
Ma'am, the first word sentence will be C.
Okay, first we will apply what we have to do. We have to look at the options. Correct? CABD, CADB, DACB, DBCA. Then what will be my opening sentence sequence?
C.
C and D. Both you have to take, no?
Ma'am, noun.
Yes.
Ma'am, noun. India is
Yes.
the noun.
That's what I'm saying. First you have to finalize that. My sequence, my opening
Noun.
will be between C and D. So finalize that. Okay, C and D. Okay, that is finalized. Out of C and D, which we will take first?
Noun.
Correct. Which is the noun here in C and D?
C.
India, ma'am.
Yeah,
India
correct.
is a noun.
You are right. Correct. So my first sequence will be C. Okay, let's go step by step. My first sequence will be C. In India, democracy is still passing through its infantile stage from lot of downs. Okay. Now the next is now next what I have told you. Identify noun and pronoun. Identify noun and pronoun. So now the second the second trick is you have to identify the pronoun. Any pronoun here? So C is done. C sentence is done. Now look at the three sentences. Any pronoun here?
If.
Where it is? Think.
Ma'am, our, ma'am. Our. Our is the pronoun. If we want to make our democracy, our is the pronoun, Indian pronoun.
In India, democracy is still passing through its infant stage, a lot of downs. If we want to make our democracy stable, there should be some, what is that sentence? Some? Just a second. Okay, some checks upon the people in power. Just a second. Think. Meanwhile, I'll just see and come what the people on YouTube are doing. Okay. Okay, good. Even YouTube people are actively participating. Good. Okay. Okay. So first is C is done. Then it starts with C and pronoun. So pronoun is our, correct. If we want to make our democracy stable, there should be some checks upon the people in power. Okay. C and A is done. C and A is done. Okay. Now comes the relative noun. Now comes the relative noun. So there should be some checks upon the people in power. Now comes the relative.
Ma'am, related noun is we. Related noun is we. Number B.
Where is the
We
word?
do not have a healthy opportunity.
So relative noun is which connects the two situations or two sentences or two conditions. Correct? Correct?
Correct.
Correct. So now see which word connects the two conditions or two situations here. Which sentence connects two situations here? The third tip, we have to look at the conditions now. So they have not given the word which, whom. See, in the previous sentence, I kept it very simple, which. Okay. Sometimes they will not give the word like which, whom. You should be able to analyze which are the two situations or sentences or conditions is been connected. So which is that which has been connected here?
A is option A. I think option A, the if there connects the two sentences. That's what I think anyway.
For my understanding is B, we do not have a healthy opposition. See here, and.
This gap.
And this
Yes,
gap
ma'am.
can be covered only by a free press.
Two different situation and
Two
is
different sentences.
relative pronoun.
Here, two different sentences has been connected. That is a relative pronoun. Relative pronoun. So, in India, democracy is still passing through its infantile stage, suffering from lot of downs. Is first one. And our pronoun. If we want to make our democracy stable, there should be some checks upon the people in power. And the third is CA, and since there is a relative noun combining two sentences, that is B. CAB. And last is leaders generally become very ambitious, and so they try to gain power as much as possible. Now you can ask me one question here, ma'am. In sentence D and sentence B also there is and. How do you decide which should come first? Correct, na?
Yes, ma'am.
Correct. But now there is a trick for that. Okay. Now there is a trick for that. Till here you understood, right? We clearly made three sentences. One is identifying whether it is C or D, then also finding out the noun and the pronoun and the relative noun. So three sentences are arranged. Now, since there is a in both the sentences, there is a relative noun, which should come first. For that, there is a trick. Why I took this third is and last is D is, there is a trick called conjunctions. There is a trick called conjunctions. And is also a conjunction, my dear friends, okay? But it is connecting two sentences. That is, it gives the relative noun, relative pronoun form, okay? So that is a third. Now, conjunctions. One more trick is identify the conjunctions. Identify the conjunctions. So we have done three sentences, okay? We have done three sentences, but still there is a scope because there is one more trick. Okay. Now one more trick is conjunctions. So now conjunctions. So you can write in your book. Okay. Make one column. So divide your page into half. You make columns, right? You make columns. So draw a column in the center of the page. In one column, you write because I can show you if I can write something. Just a moment. Can I write something on a whiteboard or something? No, there's nothing to write as such. Okay. So now make two columns. Make two columns. Make two columns. First column, name it as, that is column, you have divided your page into half, right? That is two columns will be there. First column, name it as, first column, name it as, first column, so the trick what we're trying to identify here is reason and result. Reason and result. The next trick what we're trying to do here is reason and result. Reason and result. Okay, I'm going slow. Okay, now first column, first column, first column, first column, write it as result. Result. First column is result. First column, write it as result. Second column heading. First column, write it as make two columns. First column, write it as not result, reason.
Result.
First column reason, first column reason. Okay. Second column result.
Second column result.
Yes, correct. You are right. First column reason, second column result. So in the first column, under the reason column, write down because words. Write down the words one after the other. Because, so, as, is, because, as, as if they say, no, because, as, and since. So the first column is reason. And the second column is result. So reason words are because, as, since. Now we will come to the
As
result. Now we will come to the result column. Result column. Pardon? What happened?
Carry on, ma'am.
Yeah. So the reason words are because, as, and since. And next is the result. The result words are so, therefore, and hence. Hence.
Hence spelling, ma'am.
Okay. So the first
Hence spelling.
huh?
Hence spelling, ma'am. Result.
Result. I will explain. The result column, note down the words. Result column, so, therefore, hence. So did you make a note of this?
Hence,
Hence.
hence spelling, ma'am.
Yeah, spelling.
Hence spelling.
Yeah. Hence. Hence.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. I was not aware of the last date of submission of the report. Hence, I did not complete the work on time. Hence, okay, HENCE. Oh, so now we have two columns. One is the reason column, that is because, as, and since, and the result column. The result words are so, therefore, and hence. Therefore and hence. So if I can give the if I can give the example for, I will explain this little later. I'll give the example for this reason and the result. Okay. So the first column, reason, I have given you, and results also I have given you. I'll give you one example. I did not complete the work on time. Next sentence is, I was not aware of the last date of submission. I was not aware of the last date of submission. So now how do you connect this sentence now? Can one of you give example? I did not complete the work on time. That is the first sentence. I did not complete the work on time. That is the first sentence. Second sentence, I was not aware of the last date of submission. So how do you connect these two sentences using reason and result? Let me see. Try.
Can we use because?
Anything you can use. Try to frame the sentence.
Because of knowing the date of last date.
Because I was not aware of the last date of submission, I did not complete the work on time. Or as I was not aware of the last date of submission, I did not complete the work on time. So like this, the reason and the result sentences will be there. So now you have to find out third what will come. So now we have finalized the first sentence in India. So reason and result words you identified, right? Reason will be because, as, and since, and result word will be so, therefore, and hence. Okay. So we have found out the first sentence in India, democracy is still. Then since pronoun is there, our, so we have taken the second sentence, our democracy is stable, that is CA. Now the ambiguity is between B and D, which should come first, because and is there, both relative pronoun is there in both the sentences, but still which should come first. So for that trick is you have to find out the reason and the reason and the results. So here, leaders generally become very ambitious, and so they try to gain power as much as possible. So now the third sentence is CA is done. The third sentence is leaders generally become very ambitious. So that is the reason. Leaders generally become very ambitious, and so they try to gain power as much as possible. So here reason and result both is there. That is why that should come the third. Leaders generally become very ambitious. Because leaders are very ambitious, they try to gain power. They're very ambitious. That is why they want to gain as much as power as possible. Because
Ma'am. Hello.
Yeah,
Ma'am, you mean to say that result is the and reason is the third position and result is the fourth position?
Yes, see, leaders generally become very ambitious. That is the reason they become very ambitious. And the result is they try to gain power as much as possible. So here this reason and result sentence is there. That is why it should come third. And how do you control this? We do not have a healthy opposition. and this can be covered only by a free press. So our answer is CABD. CADB. 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 So in India, democracy is still passing through its infantile stage, suffering from lot of downs. If we want to make our democracy stable, there should be some checks upon the people in power. Leaders generally become very ambitious. As leaders are very ambitious, they try to gain power as much as possible. The reason is they are very ambitious, and the result is they want power. So that is why third sentence will come there. And the last is, how do you control these people? Only by a free press. That is the fourth sentence. Understood? Why we have taken, why we have taken CADB? We do not have a healthy opposition, and this gap can be covered only by free press.
Yes, ma'am, it is clear.
Okay, so this is also talking about a time sequence. Time sequence. So that is, or it's linking. So the last one trick which I would like to explain here is the concept. Let me see, there's some people in the chat. Okay. Yes. Okay. So you're able to understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now the last one concept, the one technique is there, that is the concept. The concept. Find out the linkage between the sentence is the last one. Find out the linkage between the sentence. For example, there are 4 sentences given. So in 4 sentences, for example, say in the first sentence, they're talking about a country. In the first sentence, they're talking about a country. And somewhere in the last sentence, they're again mentioning the country names. Then that indicates there is a link between 2 sentences. You're able to understand? There are 4 sentences. In that 4 sentences, imagine first sentence has country name. Somewhere in the third sentence, they would have mentioned the same country and some sentences. And some words they would have mentioned along with that country name. So with these 2 sentences, there is a link. So it is talking about the same concept. So that linkage we have to find. So that we will see how it will be in the sentences. So till now you have understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the last one is the linkage concept. Let me see what people are doing on WhatsApp. Yeah, see, you will feel it's very confusing, but when you start analyzing the sentences, noun, pronoun, linkage, then reason, result, relative noun, then you will have a fair understanding of arranging the sentences. Okay, people on. Okay, so
Parajumble.
now let's go to the next sentence.
Nah.
Next example.
বুঝাচ্ছে তো আমি মনে করলাম, আমি তো বললাম এটা আমি দেখে বুঝলাম যে এটা আমাদের রিয়ারেঞ্জের মতো। তাই ম্যামরে বললাম, ম্যাম দিস ইজ লুক লাইক রিয়ারেঞ্জ।
What happened? It's all good?
Yes, ma'am.
All good, ma'am.
Okay. Now the third example. Go through the third example and give me the answer. Who will read now? So what is our first option? Look at the options. So the first trick is look at the options. A, B, C, D, A, C, B, D, B, A, D, C, B, C, A, D. So then I will finalize between A and B. So my answer sequence should start either from A or either from B. Okay.
Ma'am, it should start from A, I think.
Think. Why you should start from A?
Ma'am, it's start from B because noun is you.
Very good. Very good. Who is this?
Hasnat.
Very good, Hasmat. So you start the sentence from B. A and B is my option. But since there is a noun in the B part, I will take B first. If you want to go ahead in life, go the extra mile. Go the extra mile means come out of the comfort zone, try new things, explore new things. Every day, keep yourself learning, keep yourself updated. Like that. Yes, you have to take that responsibility for yourself to develop. So if you want to get ahead in life, go the extra mile. So build your network. For all those things, they say that extra mile. Okay. Manage your health, keep your fitness, all those things. Read books. That is extra mile in order to get ahead in life. Okay. So if you want to get, I will take B as my first sentence because that has noun. If you want to get ahead in life, go the extra mile. So that is first one. What is next?
Ma'am, C. We is the pronoun. We have no.
Correct. Very good. If you want to get ahead in life, go the extra mile. That is the first trick. The second trick is find out the pronoun. So we is, so if and we. It has taken if the place as we. So we have no competition. Okay, next.
Next, AMM.
There is no competition on the extra mile. Okay. And last one is, it is easy to succeed today. Today means why it has come at the end? Because it is showing the time today. It is easy to succeed today. So if you want to get ahead in life, go the extra mile. We have no there is again ambiguity between there is no competition, the extra mile, we have no competition. Think, you have to think a little bit on these sentences. Think once again. Come up with a better option.
Ma'am. Excuse me, ma'am.
Tell me.
Option A, there is no competition on the extra mile. Depending extra mile, if we want to get ahead in life, go the extra mile. I think A should be the first and B the second. Because extra mile, then if we want to get ahead in life, we should go to the extra mile.
No, as per the steps, B is the first one. If you want to get ahead, since there is a noun, we have to take that first. If you want to get ahead in life, go the extra mile. Go the extra mile. Okay. Next. There is a with the extra mile, there is a relative noun. There is a relative noun. Okay. There is a relative noun. Relative noun means it is relating to the sentence. It is relating to the sentence. Okay. If you want to go get ahead in life, go the extra mile. There is no competition on the extra mile. So BA is cleared. Okay. BA. Then we have no competition. It is easy to success today. Since here we have no competition. So we have no competition is the conjunction. Here the conjunction, we have no competition and it is easy to succeed. Success spelling mistake is there. It is easy to succeed today. Should come in the third sequence and we have no competition is the last one. We could have taken this as the last, but it is showing a pronoun. It is showing a pronoun. It. See, if you want to get ahead in life, go the extra mile. There is no competition on the extra mile. So there is no competition. This competition is taken the place of it. Okay. It is easy to succeed today and we have no competition. This is the last one. So it is BADC. It is BADC. Okay. Let's see the next sentence. Okay. Unthinkable things happen. Life is not just party and pleasure. It is also pain and despair. Bad things happen to good people. Sometimes everything turns upside down. Now think. A, B, C, D, A, C, B, D, B, A, D, C, B, C, A, D. Answer will be between A and B. So A and B, if I see that, so life is a noun. Life in itself is a noun because it's a living thing. Life means living thing. So I will take that first. Life is not just party and pleasure. It is also pain and despair. So I'll take B as first. B comes first. Then A. Unthinkable things happen. You're also thinking? Come up with the answer.
I think 3.
3, ma'am.
BC.
Yes. 3, ma'am.
BADC.
BADC.
ADC.
Yes,
Yeah.
3.
BADCU. Life is not just party and pleasure, it is also.
BA.
DC.
BA.
DC.
BADC. BADC, correct. Life is not just party and pleasure, it is also pain and despair. Unthinkable things happen, but sometimes everything turns upside down and bad things happen to good people. Okay, correct. Okay, so these are some of the examples to understand the parajumbles. Okay, any doubts? Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
So
No, ma'am.
first look at the options, decide the options, whether it is A, B or C, D or however the options are arranged. Look at that. The next trick is identify noun and the pronoun. Identify the noun and the pronoun. The third trick is identify noun and the relative noun. Noun and the relative noun. Who, which, that, whom, whose. So when we use who, when we are talking about a person or a pet animal, who comes. Okay. When we talk about which, it's non-living things. When we talk about which, it's non-living things. So figure out that. So relative pronoun is which connects two sentences or situations or conditions. And those words are which, whose, whom, that, whose, all those are relative nouns. And the third is, the fourth is noun and pronoun, noun and relative noun. The fourth is chronology. So look at the timings. First work first, last work last. So that we saw in the sentence sometimes and all. So it comes in the next sequence. And also the conjunction, reason and the result. Find out the reason and the result. So in the sentence we saw, right, in the example we saw, because as people, the words also I have given you. I've given you the reason words, I have given the result words also. So identify that. As people are very ambitious, they look for as much power as possible. They want to get as much power as possible. So since the reason is they are very ambitious, that's why they want to get more power. Result is more power. They want to get more power. So identify that reason and result words also in your sentence. Next, arrange that. Then comes your linkage, that is concept. Linkage, that is linkage words are, it find out the links between two sentences. For example, if the in first sentence, if it is talking about the country, and the third sentence it is again talking about the country, it is giving some more information about the country, then that sequence should come next. So in that way you can arrange the parajumble sentences. So try taking a paragraph sentences like this and try to apply these formulas, I mean techniques, and see how you can arrange it. Any doubts? Please try this, and any doubts, please let me know in the next class.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay?
Okay, madam.
Just a second. So have a cool mind, understand the techniques, and try to apply one by one and see the sequence, how one comes after the other. Because when you start applying, you will see, okay, this has to come in the third place. But when you apply the trick, pronoun, noun, and all those linkage and all those things, it will take a different place. So be cautious about that. And in that way, you need to arrange the sentence. So I'll try to send the details now. I'll mail the notes also for parajumbles also. I'll mail you the notes. So you can practice. And any doubts, please make a list of the doubts and we will continue in the next class. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate your patience, but practice well, okay? It all has to be practiced. So we have given you the tips and tricks. If you can apply that and practice, arranging the sentences will become very easy. So apply one by one and arrange and see whether it gives a meaningful paragraph. Okay.
Okay,
Thank you so much. I'll mail the details to whomever who have sent mail. I will.
Ma'am,
share the
your email ID, email address, please. Your email address, please.
Yeah. I'll put it in the chat box. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
It's manjusritrgs@gmail.com. manjusritrgs@gmail.com. I'll share the notes, friends. I was little occupied with my exams. I'll share them. Okay. Thank you so much, all of you. Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
RK.
Thanks, ma'am.
Signing off, Manjula Shrikant. Bye
Okay,
bye.
ma'am. Goodbye.
Bye.